The following podcast is an RMG Media production.
Hey guys, Sydney here on the Renaissance podcast. I'm really excited because on August 1st, tickets to the Renaissance Women's Summit go on sale. You guys have heard me recently talk about our conference, which is different, that the conference is taking place on December 6th in Charleston, 2023. But we have our flagship reoccurring annual summit, which happens in Nashville each February in partnership with Vanderbilt University's The Wondery, which is Vanderbilt's Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. It's coming back. We are back. The date for the Nashville event is February 24th, 2024. This will be the third one that we've done in Nashville, the fourth one in total if you count our Charleston event. And tickets to our Charleston event actually are a quarter of the way sold out. We still have about 6 months to go until that conference comes to fruition, and I'm so excited about it. But I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys that August 1st is the day for our Nashville Summit tickets to go on sale. So you can go to therenaissancewomensummit.com to secure your early bird tickets that are on sale August 1st. You don't want to miss it, you guys. This is the most incredible day for women entrepreneurs to come together, learn from each other, grow, and just help each other get where we want to be in our businesses. We talk all things social media marketing, how to grow your social media following, how to work with influencers, how to instill different freelancers into your company, different ways to get yourself on podcasts, how to figure out when you need to hire, who you need to hire, and just all the tips and tricks and insights on how to grow your business. This is going to be an incredible day, and I'm so excited. So again, get your tickets on August 1st at therenaissancewomensummit.com. I'll see you guys there. Welcome to the Renaissance Podcast, a podcast for Renaissance women
and men
who want to create a modern-day Renaissance in their life and business.
We interview some of the most successful entrepreneurs and share their unique stories.
Are you ready to create your Renaissance? All right, what's up?
Hey,
It's Thursday,
it's been a long week.
but this is coming out on Monday, 4th of July? No, 3rd of July.
3rd of July, yeah.
So happy Independence Day almost, everybody.
Last time we recorded, it was Memorial Day. How is that possible?
Well, yeah, that was the last time we, I think, sat down together and did a podcast, and then we released.
We had an episode in the can, and then a live episode, and then our solo episode. It's been a weird world.
June.
Yeah.
June has
Halfway
been
through the year?
Yeah, halfway
Holy
through
hell.
2023. I feel really good about this year, though. I feel like we've really had a lot of things going on in our company that have just been all hard things, but things that are pushing us closer to ultimately where we want to be.
Yeah.
Where are you from reflecting on where we were in January?
I think, yeah, it's definitely just like completely different mindsets. But like, I think the big thing was that we let so many little things get to us in like November, December, January. And I am not letting the little things get on my nerves anymore. I'm kind of done with them. I'm like so tired in general that like it's weird. Like this year, the last 6 months, I feel like right now, like I'm like trudging through the mud. Like I feel like I've just trudged through so much, and I'm like, I'm just like I've gone through 6 rounds with Floyd Mayweather. Like I don't even know. It's been a lot. So I guess like yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not letting the little shit irritate me anymore.
It's such a good point because this time last year, and we've talked a lot this year on the podcast about Q4 of 2022 and how it was a really challenging, what's an adjective we could use ChatGPT
ChatGPT to give us a million adjectives
of how to describe it. It was just a tornado. It was
Yeah.
like so much. But would we, it's interesting. Would we be going through those same things and having those same feelings now with how much personal development and business development we've done in the last 6 months? I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if we would have let those types of things completely derail us like they did at the end of last year when we weren't as mentally and physically as equipped as I
Yeah.
feel like we are now. I feel like we're way
I think
more
that's
equipped.
that's the key. It's like we wouldn't have known. We would have just kept going until we ultimately imploded again. Like it would have happened one way or another. And I think that's part of growth. And I think that's part of the reason why I've been getting like tired is because we have to fail in order to grow, which sucks. It's a very discouraging, hard, tough thing to deal with where it's like, God damn it, okay, I get it. I've learned a lesson through this whole thing. But at what cost? Because it's like, what are we really doing here? So that has been one of the things that's been on my mind over the last 6 months. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think lots of growth.
that's why I'm
and-
drinking a beer.
And that's why I like growing the term, like just like growing pains, because you cannot grow without pain. It's just true.
Yeah.
I mean, think about you and I are really tall. Think about when we
Right.
actually had growing pains and we were like 10 years old and how much, like, I remember my legs when I was like 10 and 11 years old would just start really hurting. And I would
Yeah.
ask my mom and she'd be like, our mom, and she'd be like, yeah, it's just because you're growing.
Yeah. Which I wonder if it was just because we were growing or if she just didn't want to deal with us.
It could have been that because when you have 4 kids, you just sort of, when
Yeah,
they
like-
start complaining, you're like, go to bed.
Yeah, whatever. Just go. I've dealt with you for like everything. You're
Mom,
fine.
my legs hurt.
My legs hurt. I can't go to school tomorrow. You're going to school.
You're going to school
Because
and
when
go
you're
to bed.
when you're me, I would come up with any and every excuse possible to not go to school because I hated it that much. So I would just, Mom, I got the sniffles. Can't go to school. Like every single thing. I went
Yeah.
to the nurse. I think in 5th grade, in 6th grade, really, like almost every single day to try and come home because I was like, this is pointless. I do not want to be here.
And then you go look at us in college and the 1 year we did. Same
thing. But then you don't have to go to the nurse. You can just leave.
You could just be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm just actually just not going to go
You know how
in
many
today.
times I would be in the middle of math class and I would just pack up my things, like in college algebra, and just leave and be like, this is boring.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. It's hilarious when you think about us in school. But anyway, okay. So all that to say, I hope if you're listening, I hope the first 6 months of this year, really 7, we're in July now, going into the month 7, that you are taking some time to reflect. This is a really cool moment where we're all able to be like, all right, 6 months in, how can we really align, set some intentions, and fuel up
Yeah.
for these next 6 months so that we close this chapter of 2023 with a bang and we
Yeah.
can really look back 6 months from now and go, yeah, maybe the first 6 months weren't exactly where I wanted them to be, but I didn't let that stop me. And now going into 2024, I feel really good because of how much blood, sweat, and tears I poured into the second half or poured into myself more.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I just think it's been an interesting 6 months. I think it feels like we blinked and we're here.
It's kind of wild.
And
Like, I really don't know how we're in July.
I know.
Feels like I don't even, well, to be fair, I don't remember last July at all, really.
I gave birth.
Well,
I
that's
was
true.
kind of
Yeah,
a-
you did. You gave birth. So
Yeah.
that was that.
There was a lot of baby in July
a
last
baby
year.
going on. Yeah. Well, that's crazy that you have a kid that's a year old.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been a weird year. Holy shit. That's it.
I know. That's just it. Walker's drinking a beer because it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Okay, well, we're going to get into the episode. We always like to give you guys, when we do these solo episodes, we just like to give you a little insight in where we're at. I don't know if that was even valuable or if you guys.
Yeah, I think it's more fun. I like us doing, and we always ask for feedback. No one really gives it to us. So if anyone's listening at this point, give us feedback. But I like these solo episodes because I feel like they're far more authentic.
Mhm.
And especially like now with where we are, just kind of like not dealing with like nonsense and bullshit anymore. Like I kind of feel like we get even more authentic and I kind
Yeah.
of enjoy that. So I feel like our last solo episode that we did was very well received. We got a lot of good feedback from that just
Yeah.
randomly, which was kind of cool. So people seem to like them.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why we started this podcast was to, for Walker and I, who we feel like we can never stop talking. We love to talk. We love to talk about business. That's just been a lot of things have changed for Walker and I within the business, within our relationship, within everything. But one thing that will never change really is like Walker and I just love business and we love helping other business owners. And that's really at our core what our kind of purpose is from a business standpoint. Our whole company and all of the services we offer to service entrepreneurs. And so this podcast was here to do that. And we're just learning along the way. We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
And so we invite you to join us on this journey.
No one does, like
of not knowing what we're doing.
Yeah, you just figure it out. So it's cool that we kind of have this community of people that are just figuring it out. And, when we're talking to like, oh, we just did this one thing and people are like, it's good to know that you guys are going through that as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of a comforting thing. So
yeah, I love that feedback when we get that from peeps. Shout out to Paige Parker from Happenstance who texted me after our last solo episode. And she was like, I love that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And I had to go back and listen to the episode because I was like, what are you talking about? And I listened to it and I was like, oh, because we were talking about just challenges and struggles with team and just all the things that you go through when you're scaling a business.
Yeah.
And it was just cool to hear her say that. So shout out to Paige and all of our amazing Renaissance podcast listeners. So today's episode is titled, well, I'm not going to say the title because I might change it before we announce it, but we're going to talk about AI.
Yep.
And I think it's really funny and maybe not a coincidence that the letters AI are so perfectly next to each other in the word Renaissance. And if you don't know how to spell Renaissance, not many people do. RENAISSANCE. It's the longest word in the dictionary. No, it's not, but we say that because our emails.
Yeah, if you've ever had to email us, you're like,
we're sorry.
You're tired of it.
You're just tired in general.
Yeah.
It's Sydney at renaissancemarketinggroup.com. It's a mouthful.
It's a lot.
So we wanted to talk about AI because it's something that we've been using really, I think, since the beginning of this year. I would say I don't think I used it much at all last year. But since January, I've been using it. And it's really helped us. Walker and I love it for a lot of reasons. But today, I think the main theme of what we talk about is how it's efficient.
Yeah, it's very efficient. People are really scared of it. It's become this like very polarizing thing, especially in the creative space, because everyone's seen the videos, I'm sure, of the Photoshop beta where it's like they'll take this photo and let's say I take a photo of, this glass that I have that's, half empty of beer. I can take a photo of it, use the lasso tool on Photoshop beta and type in fill up this glass with beer. And it'll just use AI to autofill that image. Whereas you would have to Photoshop it and it would be this long process. I can use Photoshop beta to literally like make this beer glass look full and perfect with the perfect head on it. And it's beautiful and it takes out the work of having to pour the beer or do this whole thing. Like it would just make it look perfect.
So what are your thoughts on that being someone who does that for a living?
It's very efficient. I mean, I've seen some crazy uses of it. Like I've seen people take a photo of a bush outside of their house and use generative fill to say, I want to have like the background be like mountains, like the Alps or whatever. And it'll use generative AI fill to put the Alps there and it'll look perfect. It'll look like this person is, vacationing. Where are the Alps? Sweden. Like that's where they are. And it's really, It's like equal parts scary, but then equal parts pretty cool. I mean, like as a creative, you'll never be able to replace creativity. Like humans, like what we're able to do, like what's in our brains. Even then, it took someone creative, like it took their creative brain power to say, I'm going to use this photo of a bush and say, put a lake and the Alps in the background,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it took someone's creativity to come up with that
That
idea.
concept, yeah.
It just and that's not something that you could never have done. It just made it easier. You could spend that time in Photoshop. Photoshop wizards can do that. It just takes more time. And don't like it. It's scary how fast it is. I think that's kind of the big thing. But I think that there's something special about, the way that we operate, the way that our brains function on a creative level that you'll never be able to replace no matter what.
I think that the people that are afraid of new technology live in a scarcity mindset. I think we talk a lot on this show about scarcity versus abundance and how, when you're really living in an abundant mindset, there's room for everybody. There's room for new technology. Like when I think about the advertising world 25 years ago, versus where it is now, it was very heavy billboard, print publication, newspaper ad, physical, tangible, touchable pieces. And then all of a sudden you look at, we'll talk billboards, digital billboards became a thing. And, those companies that were investing like Lamar and all these they were investing millions into physical, print billboards. And then they had to completely pivot it being the key word, and shift to digital ads. And then those smart businesses were like, oh, we can do multiple, and so I'm just thinking, I'm talking about like the evolution of technology and what it does. And if you think about, social media and AI, like for us, it's only going to help us. It's only going to help our clients. I don't know. I think that you have to understand that like when the internet became a thing, a lot of people were talking just like they are about AI.
Yeah.
They were like, this is scary. There's not a lot of information about this. Like, I don't think
take over the world.
It's bad.
Terminator.
Yeah. Like it's some sort of like, I don't know, government type of bad whatever thing. And look what it did for everybody.
I mean, AI is used in the world everywhere already. Like people use it, they don't even realize it. Like when you autofill, like if you use Gmail or even Outlook to type an email and you're typing, you say, hi, like you type H and it'll autofill, hi there, or let's, and then it'll autofill, go get lunch or whatever. That's AI. It's the same thing. It's just efficiency. It's just your Google. It's like interpreting what you're going to say and it's saying, do you want to use this? Hit enter and you can use it. And it's just being far more efficient. Just embrace it. It's like the technology will advance far beyond what it is now. Like we're just talking like essentially ChatGPT is like really what we use at the agency. That's like primarily what we use in our lives. But it will definitely advance way beyond that to a point where it maybe will get a little bit scary. But like the people that will really utilize it are gonna have to be creative. If you can, like, I'm waiting for the day where I can take 20 clips that I've filmed, throw it into some AI program and say, edit a video like this and have it do that. Because then I can just crank out content. Does it mean that that's going to have like the best retention rate? It's going to attract people. Is it going to be good? No. But if it can like assemble everything in a timeline so I don't have to, I'm game. I can figure it out.
I think you're never going to be able to escape being in a creative job, no matter how great technology is, without still working your creative muscle. And so what we always say with our team is, hey guys, like we're always going to be able to know if you're writing captions using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And so here's how to write prompts that ensure that it's more of giving you inspiration for captions instead of writing the whole thing start to finish, or taking a caption you've written and pasting it and saying, make this caption for a restaurant that does X, Y, and Z. make it stronger.
Yeah.
And you really have to prompt it and guide it because just like with anything, I can spot a chat GPT or an AI written caption like that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty new. Like it's still not very known to a lot of people that you can use that for caption writing, but I can spot it so easily because I know how ChatGPT writes captions. I know how they can be so cheesy with emojis. We say all the time they use so many adjectives. It's just overdone in a lot of ways. And I've seen agencies use that solely for caption writing because they're trying to be as efficient as possible. And maybe they're an agency that thinks the creative outweighs the caption, but we're an agency that believes that the two need to come together for the perfect marriage for the all-encompassing post to perform and to be as strong as possible. And so I don't think that we need to be, you can't use Chat GPT for the entire caption. You really have to know the prompts and have it help you write in your brand voice and tone.
Yeah, you have to train it. It's not like you can't just one and done. Like you literally have to give it 15 or 20 pieces of text that you've put together that is in your voice and tone so it can learn your voice and tone. You have to continue to train it. If not, it's going to give you could say, write me a caption on beer and wine flights for a restaurant in Franklin, Tennessee, and it's going to give you the most bullshit whatever. It's like, wine down with us, or it'll be just something stupid that doesn't even make any sense. It won't fit. So you have to make sure that you're giving it 20 captions that you've already written that have been approved and posted that are within your voice so you can train the algorithm to know like, oh, okay, it uses these types of phrases consistently. They use this type of wording consistently, these tones, this sentence length. Like it takes all of that into account. You can't just say one and done, here you go.
Yes, the more specific you are, which sometimes if it's still not getting it and you're like, you've given it all this direction and you're like, I need this to be written in formal or informal, friendly or professional, and you're really giving it those specific keywords and phrases, but then it's still not hitting for you, then it's a little bit of a waste of time because you're like, you could have probably just come up with something on your own that like faster and that, but that's, that's how you work the muscle of using this new technology.
Exactly.
Like really just work on it. But we do find that, like Walker said, if you're struggling with writing website copy for your website or, a blog or whatever, but you really want it to be in your voice and tone, go and copy and paste, like Walker said, like things that you've written that you really love and say, you write it in this voice and tone and don't use emojis or do use emojis.
Right.
You
have to you have to get very specific. And you have to say, you can literally tell it. One of the best things is, that's not good, try again. Like you just tell it no, like say that sucks. I'll tell ChatGPT all of the time, like this is awful, try again, use less adjectives. And be more serious. Like you have to continue to train it or else it's going to just keep feeding you the same shit and you're going to just keep getting nonsense.
So I want to share with our audience a couple of ways that we use AI to help our business. So definitely we're a marketing agency that helps businesses grow through using online platforms. But we use it for, like I said earlier, we were talking about caption writing. We definitely use it not for full captions, but for giving us ideas. And if we get stuck, we use it for things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But also putting together like strategies for clients. I think, again, you can't just expect AI to do everything for you. You have to really set some thinking time aside and be like, okay, we've got this new client coming on. They're a brand that does something in the fashion realm. Okay, I'm going to storyboard out. I'm going to list out some bullet points of like, I know that the strategy needs to include heavy video work, heavy video content, and then influencers, and then email marketing needs to be a big part of it with a funnel. And that's it. That's like the bulk of the strategy. So then I'm going to take all of that and put it into an AI platform like a Chat GPT. And I'm going to say, put together a social media strategy for this brand. Here's what the brand does. Here's the name of the brand. Here is the consumer profile information of the target demographic. Here's all that information, put it together and, make it stronger and you'll be amazed.
Yeah.
But the key is, you're going to have to then present this to your client. So
you got to put it together.
But I think
like the biggest benefit for me with AI is I struggle with analysis paralysis. So like I struggle with starting things. Like I'll sit there and overanalyze and like give myself anxiety about starting something, like starting a strategy or system or a video or shot list or whatever, proposal, anything. I'll sit there and think like, what do I need to do? How does this start? How do I even get going? And I just need to do it. But then I overthink and give myself anxiety to actually like put pen to paper and do it. So where AI is very helpful is I can get it started easily without having to even do anything. I can just type like, write da 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 in this type of tone, include these, 4 or 5 things, and it'll give me an outline. That it eliminates the fear of like starting the thing. It's already there. I've got the skeletal structure of it. I just need to reinforce it. It's very helpful. Like if you have someone like me struggle with analysis paralysis, use ChatGPT and it will help you become an executor. It's very helpful.
That's a really good tip. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because I do think as creatives, it can be
it's overwhelming as shit. You have so many ideas.
You have so many ideas, and you're like, help me harness what to do first. And that's what I love the most about AI is even though it's like a robot, you can personalize it to make it feel like it's such a personal thing to you, and then it's free. There's also that.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it just saves you, like one of our favorite things about it we're talking about is the kind of convenience of it, or just the automation of it is just like so great because with Google, you can sit there and search, business systems for, content development or whatever. You're going to have 4 billion pages on Google that you got to go through, and you only look at the first page, and you're like, okay, there's so many different articles, and I don't really need this, and I need that, but I want to go pull from this, that, and whatever. When you could just hop on ChatGPT and literally give it a prompt, write me a business system for content creation for a social media agency that manages 20 to 25 clients, all in the hospitality world. We need to create content monthly. Like you can give it that exact prompt and it will give you a bulleted list or whatever format that you want to do that system. And it gives you like things that you can then pick and choose. And if you don't like bullet point number 3, you can say, hey, ChatGPT, I didn't like bullet point number 3. You suck. Make me another one. And it will go, boop, boop, sorry. And here you go. And it will literally say, sorry that you didn't like that prompt. Here's 4 more. And it will do that. And then you can go from there. And it just allows you to like be far more efficient in your life because you don't have to go and dig through everything. Take it with a grain of salt. Doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect. Again, you have to personalize it to you. But it's not bad.
It's also really good for, if grammar maybe is a struggle for you. And, we've talked a lot on this podcast about Grammarly and how we like force our team to make sure they have Grammarly downloaded because we're like, there's no excuse really in 2023 why any post should go out with a grammar issue. One,
which I'm also pretty sure Grammarly is a form of AI.
Totally.
So like,
totally.
I don't really know the exact definition of what is and isn't, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it is.
Yeah, I think so.
The naysayers of AI and ChatGPT and that they think it's going to take over the world, like just.
It's already happened.
Let's live with it, man. It's going to be all right.
It's going to be fine. So, yeah.
Primarily talking to our dad. It's going to take you ever seen Terminator? It's like
the baby boomers are like the ones that are like afraid of it.
Oh, it happened. Terminator 2 and 3.
We're going to have our dad on the podcast at some point because he's a hoot and a half.
He is,
It's just so funny. So I really like to use it like for internal operations stuff, which is nerdy, but it can be really hard. And I totally think I have.
That's our least favorite thing.
Analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis.
When I get tasked, you and I get tasked to do something operation, because like we've said this on the show, like we're hyper creative people. We would rather be more creative than analytical. And we have to sit down and put together a job description or a job offer for a really we're really kind of, and we'll do a whole episode about internal changes within Renaissance, but we're kind of going through a lot of new positions that we're being creative, and we're going to talk about that. But really, we're niching down in some of the services we offer, and we're really expanding on some of the specific services that we offer and investing in those services. And so we've had some new positions that have come to fruition that we've had to figure out, okay, you got to owe that person what that position is in writing. And it's a unique position that we haven't really seen other people do. And a lot of agencies don't do what we're doing. And so it's like, how do you, and so you just ask AI. You just say, hey, here's the position. Can you help me come up with a name for it? Here's what's involved. Here's the things I want to make sure that you include. Can you please write together a job description for this? And it's amazing. And you've got to do your due diligence. You got to go through each thing to make sure so that person's not like, what is that? You got to make sure that it fits within what you're really looking for.
It gets the snowball rolling.
Totally.
That's the biggest thing for me. Like, that's seriously the only way that it really helps me.
Gets the ball rolling.
It gets the ball rolling. Yeah, like that's it. It's not like anything that any caption or whatever, any idea that AI gives me is like the most revolutionary thing ever. It just allows me to take the billions of thoughts that are in my head, like, and just put it on paper so I can just get moving with things.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to be smart in order to use it in its best way. You really have to, you can't get lazy when it comes to AI. And, we've had interns like use it for captions, and then we're all like, really? You can't cut corners.
No.
You got to use it to make yourself, look more buttoned up, whatever, but it's still got to come from you, or you're never going to be able to sell it. And, we also have been using it to help us with proposals, because proposals can be the most annoying thing that I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy it because I enjoy packaging and selling our services, because I really believe in what we do and our team. And I get really excited about potentially landing clients and all of that. But putting together a proposal has always been a challenge for me, because just sometimes, all of ours are very custom, to the business. And so I struggle with, well, just again, how do I get going?
How do I get going?
How can I help? How can AI help me outline this? Here's all these thoughts. Here's what I know needs to be included. Here's the services that we've talked about that need to be in there.
Yeah.
Here's the price points. I know all the money stuff, but it's just organizing it sometimes can be really hard. So it kind of can work as a business coach in some ways.
Yeah. It's just like, it's seriously, if you're a person that struggles with doing, like with analysis paralysis, getting the ball rolling, it's the best help, because it'll do it for you. I was doing it the other day with emails, sending emails. Like, I was struggling to figure out like a response and like a pitch and just have it. I literally gave it a list. Oh, no, this is what I used it for. I had sat down with a meeting with Ashley to literally help develop a content creation system for Renaissance, because like we do it, it's not really like ever on paper. So I literally sat in a meeting with her, and as she was talking, I just typed like everything that she was saying. So like, we do these calendars within the first 2 weeks of the month, these calendars, we ran through the whole thing. I had like 78 bullet points. Took those 78 bullet points, put them in a ChatGPT, and said, organize, condense these with these parameters, take out the name Ashley Maddie and this, like these parameters, put it together in an organized and cohesive list in a way that it makes sense, starting the month out on the 1st and ending on the 30th or whatever. And it did it. It organized everything.
Wow.
And then from there, I just had to like tweak it and make it make sense. And then I went, put it in Asana, and now we have a content creation system.
Boom. Yeah. You could, even if like that had to be really specific to our company. So that makes a lot of sense. But like, if you're someone listening and you're needing to share with someone who maybe you're about to hire a social media manager, finally in-house.
Exactly.
And you're like, I need to give them guidebooks so that I'm not just like throwing them into this. You can say, put together a social media content creation system for my business. Here's what my business is. Here's what we do. Here's who we serve. Here's what we sell.
Right.
Here's the price points. And include in that what you already have been doing. So it can weave that in. So it might be, we do 5 feed posts a week and, 4 stories. And you like that. That's a good flow for you. So write that in there.
Yep.
These are the hashtags that we use. So put in the system that you want to continue using hashtags, but you want to expand on your hashtag strategy. Put in there, every 6 months you enhance the Instagram bio. You can literally use AI to help enhance your Instagram bio, which I think is so cool.
So great.
You can say, hey, ChatGPT, help me perfect my Instagram bio. Imagine, and you sit there and you type, okay, imagine you are a photographer and a videographer. Write an Instagram bio that's 3 lines and a maximum of 150 characters for an expert in photography and videography for brands. Use appropriate emojis and simple, fun, and professional language. Boom. And it will come up with things, and then you can sort of fill in the blanks of like what your name is, what your website is, what your, specific things that you want in there, but giving it the limitations of how many characters are allowed in an Instagram bio or whatever, which it probably already knows that. Like, it's just key to give it limits, be really specific, and that's how you do it. And just see what other opportunities. It's just endless.
It really is. It's up to how creative you can be. I mean, I'm thinking of I could think of so many different ideas of how we could use it now. Coming up with podcast ideas, helping with our podcast descriptions, titles, everything. Like it's endlessly helpful, but it's a matter of how you use it.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, you were talking about how you use it for your meal planning, which I think is so unique. But I'm imagining like catering businesses, if you're a chef and you're trying to come up with specials. Now, this is where it could be a little bit polarizing because, like, let's say you're a chef, you're a cook, you're doing something, coming up with specials. Like, that's such a creative, like, personal, close to the chest kind of thing. But also, you
get stuck.
Or like, you could even say, like, let's say you're a catering business and you have, 15 catering gigs for the month booked already, or for next month booked, and you need help organizing your grocery list, your whatever, like all of those things, you can plug in. Like, I have I'm catering for 150 people on July 15th, and I need, I'm cooking X, Y, and Z. How many pieces of shrimp am I going to need? It'll tell you. It'll tell you.
Well, like, that's how I've been using it for I was telling Walker every single Sunday. You were the one that first told me you used it for helping you with like a weight loss plan or something.
Yeah. Literally, I needed, because
Which is so funny, because if you look at Walker, he does not need to lose weight, but he's trying to get some gains.
I got some love handles, but I got a little muffin top going on. I spend too much time at the bakery.
Drinks beer.
Yeah.
What bakery?
I just thought it was a muffin top joke.
Oh, I was like, where are you hanging out on the weekends? You going down to Sugar Drop in Franklin?
Yeah. No, but I get really bored with the gym because I have like a set workout that I do, and I get so bored. But then
Didn't you use AI to help you with your workout?
Yeah. I said, so it'll tell you, like, it'll be like, I can't give you specifics on how you can lose weight because it doesn't know necessarily what everything is, but you can be like, okay, I'm this tall, I weigh this much, I eat this many calories, I do this, and do this. Make me a workout plan that will help me cut or burn fat and gain muscle. And it was like, oh, okay, here you go. I can now do that because you gave me all of the information. I gave it my social security number, my birthday, everything. And just kidding, I didn't do that. But I gave it everything that it needed. And it literally was like Monday, XYZ, Tuesday, da-da-da-da-da. And it went through the whole week. And then I was like, okay, now give me an accompanying meal plan with that. And
wow. This is why I love it. Because if you're listening, you're a high achiever, you're a high performer. We know that if you listen to this. Well, Walker, this is the subject. But, everyone wants to look for ways to save time. And for me, this sounds like an ad. Being a new mom, being a business owner, being a wife, I don't got time to go shopping. I don't. I love Instacart. That's totally AI.
Yeah.
Totally, by the way.
There's
some button. It's
all AI.
It's all AI.
Everything is AI. Everything.
Everything. So, like, what I do is I go on chat every Sunday or sometimes Saturday if I'm really on top of my shit. And I'll say, put together a meal plan for Sunday through Thursday night. Because let's be honest, most Friday nights we're like ordering in, we're going out, whatever. Friday nights, I'm like, I don't want to cook. I need to be drinking and not cooking.
Yeah.
So Sunday through Thursday, I'm, listing out, I'll say, low carb, more keto, because that's more how I eat. Include these ingredients because I already have these in my fridge. So I'll be like, I have shrimp, I have 2 steaks. So include shrimp and steak into this meal plan. And then with the meal plan from Sunday to Thursday, break down into a shopping list for all the ingredients that I need, except for these, because I might have the olive oil, whatever. I really try to be as specific as possible.
Yeah, you have to be.
And then I'll say, then I'll take it a step further because I'm this lazy. Organize the shopping list in the order of the grocery store. So break it down by category of produce, dairy, meat, and then like dry goods. And make it as easy as possible for me so that I can, and then I hit enter and it does it. And it'll be like, sure, Sydney, here you go. And then it's just like Sunday, here's what you're having. And then Tuesday, and da-da-da-da-da. And then I put that in the notes. I copy and paste that, put that in the notes app of my iPhone. And I walk through the grocery store so easily. And I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm in the produce section. I'm going to get a bag of lettuce and some cucumbers. And then I'm going to scurry over to seafood.
You like to go to the grocery store, though. That's a really helpful thing if you like going to the grocery store.
I don't know if I like it. But you could also do this for Instacart. Because then you could
I was going to say, we use Kroger Pickup. And that is beautiful, I will say. Because
this whole episode is
it's now just
how Sydney and Walker hack their lives.
How we shop.
How we hack our lives.
Well, grocery store, like we love to cook. We love food. I swear, more time cooking and like going to the grocery store than I spend anywhere else. And I get excited about it. If I like have to go to Whole Foods, I'm like,
I love Whole Foods.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Which, well, I won't digress because I could. Because after I went to the farm, I learned about how Whole Foods actually sucks. So,
oh, no.
Anyway, but I'll save that for a different story.
We got to have Austin on and talk about everything.
We do. That was cool. Anyway.
No one knows what we're talking
No,
about.
I have no clue.
Walker just went to a slaughterhouse.
I just went to a slaughterhouse. It was wonderful. It was really cool. Filmed the whole thing.
Filmed some goats. No, you didn't film the goats. Anyway, we have a really cool digression, but we have a really cool client collab happening, and we can't say
a dream moment.
It's a dream for us. It's a dream for the client, but we can't announce it yet. But you'll see it on our Instagram when we're allowed to talk about it.
We'll post about it. But Kroger Pickup is so wonderful because it's Instacart, but you just drive to, and they put it in your trunk instead of them driving it to your house.
But then you still have to leave the house.
You still have to leave the house, but you got to get out every now and then. Yeah, it's good to get out.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's all on Kroger's app, and it doesn't cost anything, whereas like Instacart does. But
lands in here, and we're talking about Instacart.
Anyway, Kroger Pickup is fantastic. You just select everything that you need, and if you have a list or whatever, and like the meal plan already, because right now it's like a lot of people, you go on Pinterest, you find all the different recipes, and you're like, oh, that sounds good. What is tarragon? I have no idea.
No idea.
Lion's mane. I can't. What? And then so anyway, you're finding all these different things. Anyway, I like Kroger Pickup.
You're a Kroger stan. Like, you love a Kroger.
I love Kroger.
You've been a Kroger person since you lived.
Gas points, it's nice. I like that. I like the discount on gas for sure. I like that it's cheaper than Publix.
Yeah, but Publix is more of a pleasurable shopping experience, in my opinion.
I don't know. I don't even know if it is.
Listen, I was at Publix last night, right? And I'm looking around at checkout. Next time everyone's listening goes to Publix, just listen. So you look around on the floor when you're checking out and there's nothing. It's so clean. It's so clean. And then you go to Kroger, and I'm not knocking. I love a Kroger moment every now and then, especially the big ones, the marketplace ones, like the whatever that some of them have like furniture. I love those.
Yeah, the Super Krogers.
The Super Krogers.
They have the crowbar.
Yeah, I love that.
The bar.
So fun.
And a Kroger.
I love it. And so, yeah, Kroger sometimes, I'm thinking of the one in Nippers Corner, no hate, but there is a Kroger in Nippers Corner, the one I'm talking about, the one that I don't really go to very often. It's cluttery. There's clutter. There's
a lot
just
of clutter.
Cardboard boxes. It's just, I feel
it does almost feel discount story.
It does.
Okay, so I'm going to say this about Kroger's rebrand. I absolutely hate it.
Oh, I haven't
So
seen the rebrand.
Kroger, it happened when I guess during the pandemic, they were trying to be more lighthearted, and they came up with all these like animated,
the
little animated people that
people.
look like something that Sawyer would watch.
Yeah, it's confusing.
I don't like it. I think it cheapens everything.
It
like
totally cheapens
I'm not
everything.
like I get like the whole point of Kroger is that it's like affordable and it's not as expensive as Publix, but don't take it too cheap,
Yeah.
Because you get to a certain point where now I love an Aldi. No hate to Aldi shoppers. I shop at Aldi. I like it. I actually like that they make you put a quarter in to take a cart because I think a penny.
Or is it now a quarter because of inflation?
Probably. And yeah, whatever. You put a cent in.
I hate that.
I love it. I think it holds people accountable.
I think it's rude.
I think it holds people accountable
I
because
hate that you have to have your own box. They won't bag your groceries.
I like that.
See, I didn't know any of those rules when I first went to Aldi. So I went to Aldi thinking it was going to be a normal shopping experience, and I left mad.
Well, so I had a friend. Well, I still have him. He's still my friend. But we would always argue. This was when I lived in Athens. We were broke college kids, and we would always argue about Aldi is cheaper than Kroger. And I would be like, dude, they're the same. They are the same exact price. So we literally did a test where we would always buy the same thing no matter what. Like we ate the same stuff. And because we were just like, whatever, we'll just make, just peppers and turkey. Like that was it. Just ground turkey and green peppers. Like that was all we ate because it was so cheap. And he went to Aldi and bought everything. And I was like, dude, I'm going to call your bluff. I went to Kroger, bought the same exact list as him. And there was like literally, I actually think because of my Kroger points, my ticket was cheaper.
Yeah.
And to this day, I think is one of my most proud moments.
Well, you love being right.
I do.
It's really on brand for you.
Yeah, it's a flaw.
Okay. Well, I don't know if anyone is still listening because
really
we
got
just
off on a
really
tangent.
got off. But I think moral of the story is we love efficiency. We love any app or application or technology that helps us get things done faster, because I do think that the more efficient you can work as a business owner, the better. And you learn that definitely as you continue along. But just, it's why delegating and hiring employees and everything is so beneficial to a company, because every time you make a new hire, it's hopefully to take less off your plate. So in my opinion, it's, every time, you go to use AI, hopefully it's so that you can get said job done faster, whether that's creating content, processes, procedures, contracts, agreements, proposals, whatever it is. Hopefully it's so that you can get that done faster.
Faster doesn't mean better though, people. We're not saying that AI is going to make everything that you do better. So take it with a grain of salt. Do your own thing. Use it as a jumping off point, but don't rely on it, because you gotta have your own human input.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for listening. If you're still here while we talked about Aldi and Kroger. I still am a Publix girly though. I just think it's a way cleaner experience. And also, when you're talking about advertising, the Publix ads around the holidays are so good. They make you want to cry.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Kroger lost points because it's that weird animated shit, and I hate it.
Totally. The quality's
very
gone.
cheap
It makes you think that it's
It's very cheap.
But they do have some good stuff. But yeah, I agree. Okay, guys. Well, until next time, we'll see you. Thanks for listening.